Hi folks, welcome back to another Scientific Weekly. Today's source is Science Alert and the topic is something that's very close to me. The scientist has uncovered the atomic structure of one of the key proteins for Alzheimer, and that's their first time. So why is this close to me? Well, 5 months ago, a little bit less than that, I lost my grandfather after he suffered like 5, 6, maybe 7 years from the disease in a really noticeable way. And I already was in, it quite influenced me for a lot of stuff. I went to do a scientific study that was already more my idea, so to say. But during my study, I came into touch with genetics, with proteins, with atoms too, of course, everybody touches atoms. And I kinda rolled into tracking the progress into the disease, and during my internship, I also got close to it with a few times due to certain company mails, but anyway, they managed to structure the protein that's very important for Alzheimer, and to our current knowledge, the big source to Alzheimer, and it's a tremendous step forward. We might be able to structure medicine for it to remove the protein or disable it or change its function, but removing it would be the best because that means we would be able to block Alzheimer out for everybody. So the trick with Alzheimer actually is that the key protein is already there in your body at least 10 years before the first symptoms show up. That's the time that it takes for the protein to get, it's already there, but it takes that time to become so much around in the brain, and that it takes so long before being visible. Because the protein is also there in a natural way, but then it functions differently. Although if it gets defect, it starts working differently, and you can end up with Alzheimer's. So it's really complicated. It's not like, alright, let's look for this protein, then we have our problem solved. It's more like, we know what protein we need to have, but it's also a positive protein that we need to have around, and we don't need to remove the positive ones. So anyway, for those that don't know, proteins are long chains of atoms that are very complicated, not because they are big or anything, but because they are folded up and they are twisted together, and you have to find a way to unfold them, untwist them, put them out together before you can see how all the atoms are bonded together, how the atoms are bonded, interacting with each other, what the weak links are and what not. So what makes this so difficult is it's mostly done with computer simulations, because despite being so complicated, proteins are still 1, very small, 2, hard to handle, and 3, nearly invisible. Even with electron microscopy, you have a hard time trying to look at the protein like, right, I can see this, I can see that, because you are not able to see individual atoms in most cases when it comes to electron microscopy. At least in general not. There are possibilities, but that's another story. So they have managed to fold out the whole protein, make it visible through a technique called cryo electron microscopy. I'm not really familiar with it because I'm just a simple scientific analyst. I'm nothing special. So a while back there was another article. I did not cover that so far I know, but it was at least found out that Alzheimer's disease was linked to the buildup of two kinds of abnormal protein deposits. One that's there from in a more natural way, those are called tau filaments. Let me select it, tau filaments, which form inside nerve cells of your brain and in general act as a stabilizer. But this is the protein that when it becomes defective, they can form into bundles of and tangle up with each other, and you have actually the basic recipe to give someone Alzheimer's. So the problem is still, how do we defect when it's defective in a healthy brain, or how can we defect the concentration of defective proteins and stuff like that. But anyway, now we know what the structure looks like. When we unfold it, we have a bit more play with it, because in the end, everything with proteins and biological chemistry comes down to the fact if atoms will bind with each other or not. Let's say, for example, if we have the protein and we can add just one single atom, a single atom to the whole protein, it's basically nothing, but it can do quite a lot. The right atom at the right place can screw up the whole functioning of a single protein. So that's all you need, the change of a single atom or a small cluster of atoms. So yes, I don't know what to say. I tried to write some notes down for this, but that didn't go so well. So researchers have been studying the tau protein involvement in Alzheimer's for a long time, and until now they have never been able to see it up close. I beg your pardon. I'm not gonna cut that out. So yes, they haven't been able to see them up close yet, but now they have been able to do that with cryo-electron microscopy. They can do a much more. Knowing what you work with is key, and if you don't know what you're working with, you can guess, you can try, you can apply for a clinical trial or a test trial on test animals, but you are probably not going to get anything positive out of it. Well, test animals maybe, it depends on how important your research is or how much or what you exactly want to do. But it also depends on the country you're in and the government and stuff like that. So yes, now we know the molecules that make up the whole protein. They can make up the molecules to create a vaccine, well, to create a medication that attaches to the protein and disables it or gives it back the old proper function. Who knows what they are able to figure out. I would like to know that personally myself as soon as possible, but research takes long, sadly. So yes, that's basically it. The findings are also reported in Nature. I did not read that myself yet, so maybe there is more into it. It has also been covered by BBC News, but I doubt we will get much out of that, because after all, BBC is a typical run-of-the-mill news agency, which is not a bad thing, but if you are looking for the scientific details, it's not really useful. Now I think about, let's just go to Nature. Let's see what they have to tell us. Ooh, an article. That's always nice. That's always nice. You need to buy access for it. That's a shame. I might do it later sometime when get back to this. But I'm not certain. I'm not sure. It's tempting, that's what I know, but it's 30 euros for a single PDF, and then you can save it on your own system, or you can rent it and access it for a limited time and with restrictions. So yes, I don't know yet. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know down below what you think of this, because this is pretty key to me, because it's close to me, but also concerning the fact that Alzheimer is rising in appearance, so to speak. And when we are getting older and older, the chance on Alzheimer also increases in people, and the fight against it increases, and we need to find a quick way, or we might end up with nothing. It sounds bad, but if you have a relative that has Alzheimer, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, ask someone if they have a relative with Alzheimer's. It's very touching and personal. It's a really weird experience, actually. And I don't know what to say, so leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. If you have any questions about my experience with Alzheimer's from my grandfather, let me know it. Just any comment. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Like, dislike, comment. Subscribe if you're interested to more of this stuff. Scientific Weekly will be returning next week again with another scientific article. Hopefully less long than this and in a better format, because usually I write notes for the article, but I couldn't get myself up to it this time. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys next time.